A multi-tool by Heckler and Koch? Nothing fancy, it's Heckler and Koch, not Koch. I say Heckler and Koch. H&K for short. But a multi-tool? That's a surprise. I was checking out the box, trying to see if there is an intermediary knife company making this for H&K. I didn't find any evidence of that. I did find evidence of this made in China. So perhaps they contracted directly with the manufacturers, they're overseas in China in this case, had it made. Basically, maybe they just bypassed the middleman, because a lot of the major knife companies use Taiwanese, Chinese production facilities, slap their name on it, come back here, sell it in America, and they just act again as the intermediary. H&K perhaps just said, hey dudes, we're going direct. We're going direct. I'm not sure. Now years ago, H&K was making a few blades through Benchmade, and they too were made overseas, and some of them were pretty good. I reviewed some. But that deal went south, soured, as they often do in this industry, and they're gone. But here we go. H&K Multitool. Now it is model number, doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, 14441. 14441. There is no name, it's just a catalog number. Again, buy it quick if you like it. The Blade HQ link is below. Kudos to people who watch the video the day it comes out, because sometimes these things just fly. And I don't know if BHQ runs out of them, if there'll be other places you can get. I'll check Amazon. And, you know, maybe this was just a batch order. I don't know. But the price is right, bro. How about this? 20 bucks. You'll be amazed at the value you get for 20 bucks. People who hate Chinese produced merchandise need not apply, because like I said, it's made in China. But even though the box says no compromise, you're going to accept some compromises with this MT. Says me. For one, it's freaking heavy, dudes. 9.2 ounces for the 14441 MT. I think that puts it in my heavy duty multi-tool category for weight, but it really does not possess heavy duty multi-tool capabilities. There's that reference to firepower versus mobility, an everlasting tenet in the nutnfancy project. Look at the form factor though, it looks good on the outside, right? No sharp edges, kind of flared out, a reverse bow shape, kind of like the, I want to say the Swiss Army Spirit. I think that's the one it was. It kind of has that shape to it. It looks good. I think it's okay to hold. The downside is it's not very compact. I mean, this takes up more room, more span. So if you're putting it into your fanny pack, what? You still don't have a fanny pack? Get with the program, dude. Then it may take up too much room. I'm going to show you a competitive option, which is, for me, much more preferred than this MT. You may differ. But the form factor is cool. In the closed position, I like that. It is an open architecture. You can't open it up. Lubricated. I don't think anyone will ever do that, because at 9.2 ounces, I think they're just going to relegate it to a tackle box, a kitchen drawer, or a glove box in the truck. I doubt very seriously anyone's going to be porting this thing around as an EDC multi-tool. By the way, I have some experience to throw that opinion out there. Lots of gear checks, and no one ever carries a full-size real multi-tool. I do, the Leatherman Juice, dude. I always have that on me. What is that, like 5.5 ounces? I'm going off memory. Occasionally I'll run into some, I shouldn't say never, occasionally I'll run into someone that does have a real multi-tool. Mostly I see little tiny keychain ones. Squirts, Leatherman squirts, that's what I see. And that, I do classify that and count it in the gear check, but it's weenie. Yeah, it's just weenie, dudes. Let's open it up, take a look at this so sexily named 14441 multi-tool. Spring-loaded pliers. They look very Leatherman-like. They close well, good precision there. There is a pretty obvious spring there. It's not an internal spring like we'll see in some of the competition. They look decent though. Stainless steel, I would suspect 420 variety. I'm not positive on that though. There's your wire cutters. No hard wire cutter is included in this MT. And there's really no sharp edges. It feels pretty good. And since you do have this bowed out handle set, you can actually get some good leverage on it. I did not cut any nails with it to find out what the failure point is, but I suspect it's pretty moderate. I wouldn't cut anything super thick with it. I wouldn't like attack a 16 penny nail with this. Even with any multi-tool, including Leatherman, I'll find those will deform readily. By the way, on the table we have a Webley, awesome. We have a Junkers Iron Annie quartz watch, whose battery just died in just 1 year. Bummer. Great watch though. Kind of a Flieger design, super cool. Corrugated face, just like the Junkers JU52. There's a case back, super cool. Made in Germany, I think. I don't think that's made in China. I think that's made in Germany. And then we have our patches at the web store, of course. Now we fold the tool back up to look at the tool set, because this is where you're going to deploy it all. First up, we'll take the main blade out, take a look-see. You'll notice, by the way, here's that no compromise thing again. I'm kidding, that it's non-locking. So it's just slip joint. That's the downside. The good side is it is not chisel ground, it is hollow ground, this little pin blade. I like that. The steel, I'm not too sure, but I would hazard a guess of 8 CR13 MOV, maybe 9 CR13 MOV since it's sourced in China. We'll close that up, deploy the next tool, and some of these can be pretty sticky to come out, and you'll get some sympathetic deployment with it. There is a small flat bladed screwdriver. I like that. That's very useful. I use those all the time. There is a large flat bladed screwdriver in the 14441 MT. Oh, I can't believe I got the name right on that one. Notice this though, well no, it's on the other side perhaps. I'll show you that in a sec. And here's your file, which I would rate as pretty sucky. This is an awful file. It has no abrasion at all. It's single edged, and it's not, you know, going around the circumference of the blade, so you can actually groove cut with it. It's only right here, and it's like a poor quality nail file. There's some of those compromises you're going to accept, but if the price is cheap, I mean, who cares, right? There's a measurement on that side. Then we get into a very interesting tool. It's both a cap lifter, there's that sympathetic deployment, a cap lifter, and a bottle opener. Right here. And then you saw this come out, and this is actually probably to me the coolest feature of the tool, especially for the price. So it's not, I mean, I am saying some negative things about it, but honestly, this is super cool. You know what that is, right? That's right, a driver for tool bits, which are, whip sound, included in this $20 to $25 multi-tool. Check this out, dudes. So this gives you a lot of capability. And by the way, when I weighed that did not include this. So with the tool bits, you're probably looking at, I don't know, 11 ounces. Again, put in an HDMT category. But here you have some hex bits, more flat bladed bits, some Phillips bits. So the way that will work is you'll just put this on here. This is your adapter, and then you can put in your Phillips. And the cool thing is that will give you some reach to get into that crevice to use it. The downside is I did find that this does not stay on. It's not magnetically held. I don't think there's any magnet in it at all, and that's bad because it was very obnoxious when I used it because I just kind of just shake it and the whole thing would fall out. But trust me, you're not accepting any compromise with this tool. I'm kidding. There have to be some compromises at this price point, dudes. That's your driver bit. Fold that back up, and this is kind of funky, so I want to show you this. So now when I fold it up, there might be some obstruction here to this nail nick, and it's, dang, it's tight getting it out. So we have a cutter here, so that's for zipping open packages. A rescue cutter hook, if you will. Could you zip open a game animal like a deer with it? I don't know, didn't try. You could try. If so, put a comment down if you did it. Then we have a saw. Kind of a weird saw. It's like a clip blade saw. They didn't try this one, by the way. And it is not sharp at all. End of tool review. That's it. I mean, there are no punches. There's not a scissor set. So you don't get everything in it. But that is generally the case with most multi-tools that I bring to table, regardless of their price. It really is. Here's the sheath, by the way. I didn't show you this. Ballistic nylon. It has a hard insert in it, two-way carry option, and it has an elasticized pouch. Actually, it's not elasticized, just nylon to retain the tool bits. And it fits in there pretty good. There's here. No drainage hole in this. If it gets wet and it's Velcro, that will wear out if you use it a lot. I doubt anyone will use it a lot. Again, I think it'll just be like a knockabout, I won't say disposable, but kind of multi-tool. But I was saying there's going to be compromises on any multi-tool you make. Unless you just want to go HDMT all day long, like a Super Tool 300 or something like that. But even that, if I remember right, does not possess any skizzers, which is super important to me. So 25 bucks, is it worth it? Absolutely it is. It is. Despite the weight, despite perhaps an inelegant design, 25 bucks, 20 bucks, absolutely. Depending on what POU you're going to put it in. I mentioned just a couple. What I would do if I were you, though, is spend just a few more dollars and go get like a Leatherman Wingman or a Leatherman Sidekick, a more preferred, for me, competitive option. Now, it did not come with this ballistic nylon sheath. I bought this in Amazon. It fits perfect, but here comes, I believe, a Sidekick. Yep. Wingman's cool, too. I think the Wingman has scissors on it. It's been so long since I've reviewed them, and I don't carry it very often. I usually use a Wave, Charge, or Juice. Those are my go-to. But this is what I was talking about, the form factor. I mean, look at how much more elegant the Sidekick is. Look, it's shorter. It's thinner, it's more compact, it takes up less room on your belt, in your kit, in your glove box. To me, that's something. You know, it is something. Then we open it up. Now, granted, this is black coated, probably, I don't know, Teflon or just paint. I don't know. But this is a polished stainless steel tool, also made overseas. They have to be. Actually, I'm trying to remember. This might be made in the U.S. I think I'm wrong. This is made in the United States, the Leatherman Sidekick and Wave. I think so. So never mind. Forget what I said. This is a U.S. tool. Look at the plier head on this one. Oh, that's a better plier head. Let's compare it against the sexy 1444-1. So you can see this has more precision. This has a hard wire cutter in it. This one does not. And the tool set on the Sidekick and Leatherman Wingman are just so much more elegant and functional. I mean, look at the saw. I mean, this is a saw blade. I mean, I can't even drag my thumb across it without it ripping skin, dudes. So excellent. Oh, and by the way, they do lock. So notice this is all slip joint. These are locking tools in this one. Liner lock right here. Check that out. And a much bigger blade, also hollow ground. 420 stainless, I think, on this one. So your most important blades are accessible from the exterior, and then you go on the interior. Here I'm doing like a full review on this. I don't mean to do that. I'll just go super quick. So there's tool set on the Sidekick. Go check out my review. I'll try to put it in card on the Wingman, its companion. The downside to this is it's just a two-dimensional driver set. I've always called it that. This does not have a tool bit set that comes with it, but it's a lot lighter. Let's check it out. I forget exactly what the weight is, but we'll find out right now. Right here. TMP Shark stickers and patches at the web store. Shameless promotion. Thanks to TMP Patreon members. Keeping the show going, by the way. 6.7 ounces. So that's substantial. That's a lot lighter, and I never thought these were super light. I did say in the review they would make a good, I'm talking the Wingman and Sidekick, they would make good backpacking MTs. That is if your loadout is not insanely heavy already. I'll stick with that. But the star of the show is this one, the Heckler & Koch 14441 multi-tool. Get it while you can. It might be a batch order. It may be gone by the time you watch this video. I don't know. Would I buy it for 25 bucks, 20 bucks? yes, for the very limited philosophies of use I talked about, but I still prefer, for my money, just throwing a couple extra dollars. It's like 40 bucks to get these ones. I think you're getting a superior multi-tool for all the reasons noted. Nut and Fancy.